A family. It's the only thing that we wanted that we didn't have. Nice cars, good jobs, comfortable home in the suburbs, boats even. But that one thing that our heart truly desired just wasn't in the cards for us.
A family. It's still personal. I felt like a failure. But God had a different plan. A family we never met, one we didn't expect, one who needed that love we had to give. Bankhead. It's concrete. It's chaos. It's one of Atlanta's poorest neighborhoods. And today, it's our neighborhood.
And this is a story about our organization, Bright Futures Atlanta.
And this is a story about a family you choose.
We are Philip and Gail Ross, and we're the founders of Bright Futures Atlanta. We started Bright Futures in 2002 to ensure that the youth of our community had both a safe haven within our neighborhood as well as a bridge to the larger world out there. We exist to teach, train, and transform. We do that primarily through our private school, after-school program, and summer camp. 20 years ago, we left behind our life in the suburbs. We purchased a home directly across the street from arguably the worst middle school in America. Now, I know that's not exactly everybody's idea of a dream home, right? But these kids needed us. You see, Atlanta has one of the worst crime rates in America. And on Bankhead, where we live, oh, it's much worse. When a kid in our neighborhood is not either at home or in school, they're likely in danger. You see, our streets are not a place for soccer and baseball. Our streets are where drug deals go down. Neighborhood parks, it's the same. Playgrounds, forget it.
So when we saw that house come up for sale, our house, we knew we just had to have it. Not only does it sit on 2 acres of land, there's 11 acres of woods surrounding the property. We could be that park. We could be that playground. We could be that safe haven where kids can just be kids. You see, the easy part's when they're in school. They're in a safe environment from 8 a.m. till 4, but then what? It's their downtime that's so important. So during the Christmas, spring breaks, and all summer long, we are here for them.
In the beginning, we operated Bright Futures right out of our own home. As we grew, we built a beautiful clubhouse on the back of the property. It has a huge front porch with rocking chairs. It's got a koi pond, sand volleyball, and basketball courts. It's home. Here, kids come to do art. They play music. They walk down after school and get help with their homework. And at the end of the day, we all come together and have a family meal together throughout the school year.
And we take them on giant family vacations.
Yeah, vacations to the beach, where these kids can learn the feel of warm sand between their toes. We take them to the mountains, where they can climb and experience the satisfaction of what it's like to reach the top of a mountain and see a cascading waterfall.
And here, we want the kids to experience that there's a big world out there and they have a part in it. And today, our chosen family is well over 100 kids strong. We have kids in school, our private school, kids in college, kids that are now young adults living the life God intended. And we're growing. We just opened a 10,000 square foot youth center, which means we can expand our services to so many more kids in our community. Yeah, thank you. And I'm even proud to report we have a few grandbabies.
2 of those grandbabies belong to Alonzo. 13 years ago, Alonzo was walking out of his parents' and family's apartment. He was going to join a gang. Now you see, Alonzo wasn't a bad kid. He didn't even particularly want to join a gang. But he wanted to belong, and he needed protection. As he was walking out the apartment, his twin sister yelled out, "Hey man, we found this really cool place right down the street. And they let kids come over after school and on the weekends and just hang out and be kids. You want to come along?" At that moment, Alonzo literally changed direction. And instead of taking a left out of the apartment, he took a right.
Yep.
And at that moment, Alonzo's life changed forever.
And it really did, because instead of joining that gang that day, Alonzo joined our Bright Futures family. 5 years ago, we traveled to Dalton, Georgia, and presided over his wedding. And today, he's building a family of his own and living the values we hope to instill in all of our Bright Futures youth, which is faith, hard work, and commitment. And over his tenure at the Kroger Company, Alonzo moved from Bagger of the Month to today's store's e-commerce manager.
Yeah.
That's a big mouthful.
We are so grateful that 13 years ago, Alonzo chose to join our family instead of that gang. You see, we understand that the youth in our community face those kinds of decisions every single day. Our goal is simply this: to give them a different choice, to give them a better choice.
Because these kids, they're our choice. They're our chosen family, and we will love them and fight for them every day of our lives. Thank you.